Welcome to Whose Story Is It?, where extraordinary lessons are hidden within everyday stories. Join us today in revealing the untold stories within a business leader's success. Enjoy as we uncover the extraordinary in the ordinary.
Hey, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Whose Story Is It? So today, this is going to be super interesting. We've got a guy that we actually worked for the same company way back several years ago. We'll talk about that later at some point, but yeah, and he's down in South America, enjoying the life down there. So I'll let him give us a little bit of intro. So give us a little bit of intro.
Hello. Well, I was born in Venezuela in '89. I lived there almost all my life. And, Venezuela used to be one of the richest countries in Latin America and in the world. And very quickly became, going down and with a crazy crisis. And so I was in the university and I realized that first, the degree I was studying economics, and I knew that I didn't want to go to the professional field that economics were offering, offering me, right? So I realized that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know about what. I didn't know what type of problem to solve. So very quickly, the situation in Venezuela got worse. And I also had this bug of, I want to create something. So simultaneously, I got my degree, my economics degree, in one of the best universities in my country. But I quickly pursued the entrepreneurship world, in the tech world. And I created my first company with my former girlfriend and his brother. And it was super interesting. And, we didn't know anything. We had no idea about what we're doing. And it was quite difficult. But just by luck, for some reason, somehow, we got this acquisition opportunity, and from the government, local government, which we didn't, of course, we rejected.
Sure.
So it's quite, but that's when I realized that there was something there for me, that the tech world was, there's probably something there that I should pursue.
Yeah.
And obviously, it was very frustrating to receive that type of offering from your country. And that was when I realized that I needed to leave my country.
Yeah.
That country at that moment with the problems.
What year was that? What year? What time frame was that?
I'm talking about 2016.
2016. Okay.
Yeah. And around, a few months after that, I made the decision for other reasons as well to leave the country. So, and, the situation was so tough. I remember that we start because, if you had Bolivares, which is the local currency.
Sure.
So 1 week, I don't know, $1 was 5 Bolivares.
Sure.
The next week, $1 was 100 Bolivares.
Wow.
And then every saving you had, whatever you had, you basically lose everything, because it doesn't matter how much money you have in local currency. You're losing everything, right?
Yeah.
So I literally I sold my car for $1,500, a car that easily, the value of that car, at least here in Brazil, is I think it's $15K. Just, a used car, not new, used. Sure. So I sold it in $1,500. And with that, I remember I bought, well, it's really long story, but whatever. I bought a computer, I bought a phone, a smartphone.
Yeah.
And I paid my flight to Argentina and only had $300 left.
Yeah.
No one to help me out. No daddy give me money. No uncle,
Sure.
Can you borrow me something?
Yeah.
And I decided to leave, and I went to Argentina. I live in Cordoba. Thank God my father is Argentinian, so I took my nationality. Yeah. And it's very curious because when I was in Argentina, I met this American from San Diego, California. And I don't know why he was in Chile trying to pursue, his dream.
Sure.
Like, come on, dude, you're from California. Why you're not just
Exactly. Why
going
aren't
to
you in
Silicon
California?
Valley or
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
But it was great because he had this idea, and he very quickly told me, Luca, like, I have an investor. If we reach these milestones, we're going to raise money. We can do something very interesting. What I can offer right now is equity, bicycle, a roof, and food. You want to come? And I was broke. Like,
Sure.
I needed to think about my family, etc. And I decided, okay, let's do it. And I just went to Chile, and like, it was a crazy experience. And I remember that for 6 months we worked like crazy. And that was when actually my career started. And it was my first experience as an entrepreneur. I remember that we ride the bike all the time because we didn't have money for Uber or bus or car or anything.
Yeah, you got to get around.
We both lost like a lot of weight, but we learned so much. And we accomplished all the milestones. And, we raised our first round. And, well, like in Chile, like around 2019 was when I started this chapter in the company that we both work together.
Yeah.
So, yes, since that, I have been creating startups, basically failing. Some of them succeed a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
And, I'm pursuing this dream in the tech world. I love solving problems, and I love helping other entrepreneurs. And it's been like a really challenging process, but here I am, someone that, I had like 0 chances to accomplish half of the things that I have accomplished so far. And here I am.
And is where your parents at? Where are they at?
They're currently in Venezuela.
Yeah. They're in Venezuela still. They've been there the whole time. They didn't leave.
My father left to Argentina, and then he came back to Venezuela. I think it's hard for, older people to make that decision to leave your country. Even my father is Argentinian. But, like Venezuela has some, like the weather, the culture, like you get too attached to that. And I believe that it was hard. And my mom, I offered her, like, let's leave the country. You need to leave. Like, it's crazy. The situation that people are living there is crazy. Yeah. And of course, they are protected and everything, but they don't want to leave. They love their country, and they have faith that this will change at some point.
Yeah, they believe it's gonna turn around at some point. Well, let's. Here's a question here's actually the only question I ask every single guest. It's the rest are just kind of, they go with the flow. So, how did you earn your first dollar that wasn't paid to you from a relative?
That's a good question. Not related at all to a relative. Okay, I think like before joining the university, I needed to finance my free time. Like I finished school. I was waiting to have the opportunity to go to the university. So I remember that I worked for this cyber, we call it cyber cafe, like this place with a lot of computers and internet at that moment when that was a thing.
Yep.
And I learned a lot. That was the first time I started making money by my own. And I was like probably 16.
16? Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So you were working in the cyber cafe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Do you like, when you went to college, like what did you want to get out of, did you know what you wanted to get out of college? And you went, like, did you understand like what you were wanting to do?
No, to be honest, at the beginning, I had the pressure from my mom and my father, of course.
Sure.
My father wanted me to be an engineer. He's an architect. My mom is an architect as well. But for my mom, it was super important for me to have my degree. Yeah. So at the beginning, I thought like, okay, I should go for probably engineering, but it's not easy. Like in the university, the local university back in my city called Merida, it's Merida, Venezuela. Mm-hmm. We have the Universidad de los Andes University, and it's a really good university, or it was a very good university. I don't know now, but getting into the engineering school is nice. It's like you need to have very good degrees,
Sure.
very good grades,
very good
and
grades.
like you need to approve the test. We have like really good numbers.
Yeah.
So I actually just started because I wanted to do this for my family, because it's what everyone in my city does. Like after they finish school, you go to university, otherwise you're not one. So
Sure.
I started in the math school, like really interesting. It was really hard, like just math all the time, 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
You're
gonna laugh. You know what? I have my degree's in math. That's what my degree is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Wow.
so yeah, I was one of those guys. I went to an engineering college that just taught engineering. They didn't teach other industries. It was just engineering. So I was an engineering student for 3 years, and then I ended up transferring because I knew I didn't want to be an engineer at the end of the day. But yeah, I did nothing but, and then the transfer, I was like, what's the easiest path for me to get out of college? Like, what's the easiest path? And like, well, if you majored in math, you've done all this, done all these prereqs, just do. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a math. I'm going to finish up in math. So that's what I did. It was great. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
back, it's quite similar, but the opposite. I started in math because it was like the opportunity. If you get some decent grades, it's easier to get into engineering school.
Correct.
And the cool part is that career was like one of the latest the university opened, and we have like a full building, new building, the best computers, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we only have, every class only had like 7 people.
Sure.
Can you imagine that? Like 7 people, 9 people, 11 people. It was great because you had more time one-on-one with the professors, really good professors. We have professors from France and from the United States or Venezuelans that they studied abroad and they did a life there and came back. So I learned so much there, but it was super hard. I don't remember in my entrepreneurial days to face so much challenge like I faced when I studied math.
Oh.
Like I remember leaving like leaving in class like 7 p.m. and then going to study with my friends 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and still failing classes. Like, like, and that it was quite hard for me because some other people, like I don't know if they're smarter, but for them it was easier. For me, it was super hard. So, but yes, it's quite interesting. And then I moved to the economics because that's actually something that made me feel, like I always was interested about how the world works, like geopolitics, like to understand the problems that this world is facing all the time, my country, other countries. I was curious, and I also like math. So it was like a perfect mix between.
Yeah, it's great. There's a ton of math in economics, right? There's a ton of math in there. Yeah,
exactly. But you still learn about, some of the most crazy problems that are happening worldwide and locally and in our continent. So that's why I went to economics, and it was a great experience, of course.
Yeah. What do you do for fun? It's
a good story. I'm kind of workaholic, so I work almost all the time. But I learned that at the beginning that was like my hobby, working more, and I'm still kind of trying to detach from that a little bit. Right now, I'm learning golf, so that's kind of like what I have been doing lately for fun. And it's been great. Like I'm learning, I'm enjoying it. I'm a basketball fan, but golf is a moment for me to stay in the present, to learn to stay in the present, to disconnect from everything. So I'm really enjoying it right now.
Awesome. Good for you, man. That's good.
What about you?
I do a lot of activity stuff. I played basketball a lot. I played in college as well. So I've been playing forever. I still play every once in a while, but not that much. But I still like to go in the gym and, shoot baskets for 20 minutes or something. But I go to the gym a lot. I'm at the, to work out. My wife does a lot of fitness stuff. So we're pretty, we're really active in that stuff. So, that's one hobby. The second hobby is we taste a lot of wine because my wife and I, we're big into the wine. So my wife's a sommelier, so we do a lot of wine tasting. It's just it's part of what we do for fun. So yeah, it's great. We, like I said, we love what we do here. So it's super fun.
I play basketball as well in my university, but not for the first team, the second team. So,
Okay.
well, at least we have something in common. Of course, Venezuelan basketball. United States is the best in basketball in the world.
Sure.
There is a huge difference there. And also, I live in Chile, so beautiful, amazing wine from there. Next time I will go to visit you, I will bring you a bottle of wine and let's play basketball.
The Chilean cab. They have some wonderful cabs down there. We're fans, and it's amazing. It's really inexpensive. Like
it's cheap.
It's so cheap. You can get really good wines for $10. I mean, it is quite amazing. Like Portugal is similar in that. Like Portugal has like that way too, or you can get some amazing wines for really, really inexpensive. So no, definitely. What in since you started, like what is the thing that you like? What mistake do you think you learned the most from?
Good question. I think there is one mistake the life is still putting me once in a while. And it's like, I believe that's an entrepreneur. Like sometimes you want to attach yourself to your own ideas on what you believe are good or bad. In this case, let's say that you want to solve a problem. And I believe that in the past, I created a company that we raise money and we build a lot of stuff based on what I have in my head instead of spending more time with the potential buyers.
With the customers, the people actually giving you money.
Users, customers, etc. And then you have all this technology, they spend time, money, resources, energy, and everyone's so confused about it. So I will say that was one of the first biggest mistakes that I made in business. That still I need to remember myself all the time. Now, look, before going to build something and to deliver something, start making questions, start validating, start doing the right thing. So I think that's one of the biggest ones.
No, that's good. I mean, like that's and once you learn that, you'll be successful so much quicker because you're actually building something for a problem that you actually, instead of you think because it's just your experience, you've got 20 people or 50 people or 100 people you've talked to that actually fill in all the little blanks that you may not catch. Because again, when we're building it for ourselves, like it's our problem, like it's you and I had a problem, whatever it was, and we're fixing that problem. It's not the same as if we talk to 100 people, right? It's because 100%. our knowledge isn't going to be the same. So we have to smooth that knowledge out so we actually get all the details. There's going to be nuances that we didn't think of or we just don't care about as individuals. But when you're trying to build a product that people will buy, and you just got to know so much more details about the problem, right? You just got to fall in love with that problem. So, it totally is. What's a memory that you have over the last, say, 7-8 years that is something that you wish you could forget?
That's a good question. Wish that I could forget. Can I share a sad story or?
No, absolutely. That's, I mean, another way to say this, what's the most terrible memory you have? Like, what is that? What's that? Like,
look, in 2018, I was in Chile. I told you we raised money.
Yep.
And basically you can raise money, but then if you don't have sales, it's really hard to raise more money. So my company was running out of money, and Venezuela got under some crazy riots. And like my mom had a heart attack.
Wow.
And so everything started, all the bad news coming together. And I remember that it's not only that my mom had a heart attack, but it's that she's living in a country that the medicine is not available, and if you find it, costs twice of the price from whenever.
Sure.
So a lot of stress. I remember that I had money in the bank from the investors, but I didn't have money to help my mom, so that was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And a few months after, randomly, my father got kidnapped by the government in Venezuela, just trying to take money out of him. And you can see it. You can Google my father's name. And
sure.
So it was crazy because, wow, like, like this background is pursuing me everywhere. Like, and I was concerned about my father. So I remember those days, and they were like really dark days.
Sure.
So, and the only way that I found to release that, like to hide the pain, or to, like, kind of like, how can I say that? Like to escape from the problem was working.
Yeah.
So,
just kind of avoid it.
Yeah. So I got, like, and then I was in social media watching the news of my country and my father and my mom and running out of money, and I was just walking in the street, super stressful, and I just collapsed.
Really?
And yeah, it was crazy. And it was like, oh my God. Then I remember, like, for 3 months, I went to the doctors to see what was happening. Everyone was telling me, look, you need to stop working. You need to relax. You need to disconnect. But dude, like, I only have 4 months of runway.
Yeah.
I can stop, like, it's impossible. So I need to find a balance. And so I don't know if I wish to forget those moments, because they made me who I am right now.
Correct.
But I will say that at least I don't want them to come back again. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to experience that one again.
No, thank you. I think I prove, like, like, even despite all those situations, I keep grinding and hustling, and then after a few months after that, one of the best moments of my life happened. So I'm quite glad about it.
Yeah, that's right. So you think, you think about, I had a series like that where several months I was just in a very, 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 very dark place, right? Business was really hot, really tough, and it was a very dark place. I don't know, I didn't have the personal side that you had, didn't have my parents, all those issues with that. But what I remember about that is I used to, when I get up and get ready to go to work, I would curl up on the couch for about 20 minutes and just try to gather enough energy to go face the world, because I knew it was going to be shitty. I just knew it was going to be shitty. So it was those dark days, man, those dark days. But like you say, we're humans are very resilient. Most of us are extremely resilient. So we, like you said, 4, 5, 6 months later, one of the best things ever happens to you. And like, you don't think about that when you're going through that. You just don't.
Yeah.
It's so hard. You just don't know, right? You all you can think about is all this darkness in front of you. And but yeah, it's most people go through that, right? Like, we're not unique. Like, most people go through that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, we don't always hear about it, but right, we, like most people, go through that in a very dark way, right? Yeah. It's not easy. What part of your day, like, what part of your day is looking at your kind of your day, like what you do every day, what part of that day is something you really don't enjoy doing?
I really love what I'm doing. Right now I'm working for this company, and also I'm building my own.
Sure.
So I think that the worst moment of the day is like when it's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., I don't have more energy. Sure. It's like I need to go to rest. I want to wake up very quickly with energy so I can come back. That's what it comes to mind. Another thing that I believe is quite challenging for me is, like, I don't love working out, but I know that I need to do it. So, sure. Every day when those days you don't want to do it, I need to work out today,
sure.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Because I could play basketball for hours. I don't care. I could play
Yeah.
golf for hours. But like just going to the gym and, have to run for 30 minutes and
Sure.
do all the process. I just want to leave and start doing what I have to do. So yes, those will be like the two ones.
Yeah. How do you feel when you don't do that? When you don't go to the gym, how do you feel?
Yeah, like I compare that with meditation as well. I meditate a lot. So when I don't work out, I feel like I don't feel with the same energy. I don't feel healthy. I don't feel clean.
Yeah.
I know that when I work out, it's hard, but then after I feel proud of myself.
Sure.
And I feel with more energy and, and I can sleep better. So that's what I usually feel. And very similar to when I meditate and in the mornings and the nights, and some mornings I can't because I'm busy.
Sure.
And when I don't meditate, my life is just terrible. Like the same peace of mind and concentration, focus, and stuff. I kind of lose it if I don't meditate. So
yeah. What motivates you to keep going today? Like, what is the thing that keeps you? What gets you up in the morning? Like, what are the things that like you look forward to? Like you like what is it?
Well, first my family. Like I feel that we lost everything, and some part of me wants to take their pride back. So I work really hard because I want to see them and I want to see myself where I believe that we deserve. Mm-hmm. That's one of those things that keeps me with all the motivation. But also, I believe that something that gives me a lot of energy is like the anger that produced a lot of moments that I was underestimated. Like, like the story sounds cool that I left Venezuela, I went to Argentina and to Chile, but, it's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. But now imagine that you come from a country that no one wants you, and then you're trying to sell a new product, and you hear stuff like, "Oh, are you Venezuelan? This is not for this country."
Sure.
And okay, but that type of things. I have every person that kind of underestimate me in my head.
Sure.
And those are my motivations, which sometimes I have learned from, I have my coach, I have my therapist, I have mentors, and they say Luca, that's not the right energy because that won't give you anything. Like if you just work hard because you want to show them they're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can just stop feeling it. It's part of what it keeps me going. And when I stop thinking about okay, let's just move on, I don't have the same energy to go and work all the day. That's the truth.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, like I said, everybody has their, you have, all of us have a different motivation. I mean, it just, whatever, makes your juices flow is different than what me or, your friends or et cetera. Well, yeah. Here's another one. What, if we talked a year from now, so in November of 2025, what would you like to be celebrating?
That's a great question. I can only choose one.
You can only get one thing. Yeah, you can only celebrate one thing.
I can only get one thing. Oh, this is a tough one. I don't want to say something from business, because I don't want to be too basic. But I will say, I would love to be celebrating because I'm doing much better. I would love to be celebrating with my family.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Whether
in person, in person,
to see them in person. Yeah, I believe that if I got some success and I'm able to take them out or to just come back, the country goes into a better situation, and I can celebrate with them. I'm not coming back to live there regardless. Yeah. But just to have the moment, so they can see me, I can see them, and celebrate whatever crazy, amazing stuff happened during the year. So
yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Well, let's go from there. Give us the whole introduction. Give us the whole thing, Luca.
Well, my name is Luke Albertinazzi. As I said, I was born in Venezuela um, in the 89. Well, first, the company that I work for today is called Bevy, uh, which is part of the company we work together with Startup Grind.
Sure.
And but also I have created different startups, and I believe that in 2019 I built what I believe was my first success, and that type of things that you never expected to grow so fast, and
Sure.
like, so we created a company called QuickiePay in Chile, and very quickly scaled from one country to almost six countries, and
Yeah.
where we had four of those countries we have our own offices. In other two countries we work through partnerships, and I never saw in my life all that amount of money coming into a bank account, like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and for me it was like, okay, so in the last company I worked so hard, like I made all these validations, I spent all this time, zero money,
Sure.
and we raised money from investors, from the government of Chile and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I just partnered with these people that they have like a lot of experience. They have a lot of experience. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like for me as a young person, I had this huge ego. And I just saw that these people have lived stuff that they can just make decisions that quickly change stuff, like the, their their path of a business like can
Uh-huh.
change quickly depending on the decisions you make. And I
Correct.
saw that. So yes, we created that company, but it was a
What was it
fintech
called?
company.
Luca, what was it called? It's called QuickiePay.
QuickiePay, yeah.
And what did
Um,
it do? What was this? What
it
did it do?
was an online payment gateway
Uh-huh.
specialized in crypto fiat borderless solutions. So we help companies from Europe, United States, and Asia to operate in Latin America through our
Got it.
payment process. So instead of
Got it.
they having to go and create a company there, because most of the only payment gateways ask
Sure.
you to have local companies,
Correct.
we make sure that we help them to plug into our operations, and they
Uh-huh.
were able to start operating quickly and faster and legally, of course. And so we help a lot of like technology, crypto exchangers, and like
Sure.
other type of softwares to
People that
sell
want to
some.
do business in Chile.
Yeah, Chile,
Yeah.
Argentina, Peru. As I say, Argentina. I already mentioned Argentina. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
and Brazil through partnerships,
Okay.
Panama as well.
Okay.
But yes, I was like the young guy from the top founders. They have sold companies, and I was just lucky to be part of that.
Yeah.
And I was like the guy with the energy, and bringing the first clients and making sure that everything was working, putting the product together. But they had the vision, and they just brought the biggest clients, and everything started growing big time. But at some point, I never felt that that was actually mine. Like,
Oh, sure.
and I didn't
Yeah.
like fintech. Even when I'm an economist, and I don't enjoy the fintech world. Like, it's super stressful. I remember that I went from 88 kilograms to 108. Like,
Whoa.
I had to work all the time. Like, like your clients calls you 3 a.m. Where's my money? What's happening with my money? Just like,
Yeah.
come on. Why you don't call my partner? Like,
Exactly.
I'm sleeping. So whatever. It was very stressful, and I left. And that's what later I joined Bevy. I
Oh.
connected with Derek, and I remember I was applying for a job in Notion because I said like I probably should go to a bigger startup so I can
Uh-huh.
learn a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
things that I
Learn
don't
stuff.
know.
Exactly.
And I was in the process of Notion to be part of the startup program of Notion, and I just asked Derek for a recommendation letter.
Yeah.
And hey, Derek, can you give me a recommendation letter? And kind of
Yeah.
he later say like, no, like come to Bevy. Let's talk about Bevy.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that's how I joined Bevy, and it's been great. I'm learning so much, and we're doing great stuff. And Bevy works with one of the biggest and
Yeah.
most successful companies in the world: Google, Salesforce,
Yeah.
Microsoft. So like, and I feel like an entrepreneur inside Bevy. So they have given me like this opportunity to create, to have ideas, to
Yeah.
test. So it's like my first experience working for someone else in this tech world, but
Uh-huh.
it's also my first experience with entrepreneurship and understanding systems, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's
Yeah, and
great. Yeah.
you're lucky because you work for Derek, who is not normal he's not like you're not going to get that experience normally. He's
Yeah.
he's unique in that fact. He's super easy to work with and very fair and all those things like you want in a leader. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're lucky to like the likelihood of getting to work with that kind of a person is fairly small. Like there's not a lot of Derek's that run around and do
Yeah.
do interesting stuff. But yeah, he's a fun guy. Yeah, he's a fun guy too. And he loves
Yeah.
he loves playing. He's not very good, but he loves playing basketball.
I always, like I always ask him, let's play basketball. He kind of like, I don't think
exactly.
so. But yes, like let's see if we get him in a court soon, and let's see if he has some moves.
Well, that's a wrap on another episode of Whose Story Is It? We grow our audience mostly through friends sharing with friends. So please share this with a friend you care about, and of course, share it on your social media. We love that. Also, if you think listening to the podcast was entertaining and valuable, then please subscribe to next week's episode. So keep moving it forward and join us next time as we continue to uncover the extraordinary in the ordinary. Have an amazing day.